Like what you hear? Why not drop a line at www.radiowaterloo.ca? Or if you would like to request a song, check out Radio Waterloo on Facebook and Twitter. Or call us at 519-884-2567. You are listening to the new 102.7 CKMS FM.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for CKMS Wide World of Motorsports calling in from Denver, Colorado. We have one of our squad members calling in here. We've had him on the past. We're having him back again. My buddy Joe, a.k.a. Slayer Misfit. Welcome to the show again, buddy.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
We're just playing some music here. I was just playing some vinyl. Went out, went for a puff, came back. Now I'm here. Now we're talking about the wide world of motorsports. What are you doing today on your day off? I'm
just relaxing. And, one more day. Tomorrow I go back to work for 12 days, and yeah, just kind of taking it easy today.
How about that fight on the weekend that we had to illegally stream, go through 18 million different streams?
Well, first of all, that's not how you do that. We paid the $100 each to watch that. Okay.
It was so worth it.
It was definitely worth it. It was definitely.
It was worth every cent.
Fight. Let's just be honest.
Well, it's better than like watching Ronda Rousey get her ass kicked in 1 minute, and at least we sat there for 40 minutes apparently.
And as far as I'm aware of, I don't think Conor McGregor's contemplated suicide.
He took it well, actually. He took that pretty well.
I think he took the loss pretty good. He did a good job for his first boxing match. So I mean,
well, yeah, and he even said himself, really they kind of wish at the end of the match. This has nothing to do with motorsports, but they went into the match. Yeah, that's fine, though. But they went into the match and they said, well, after the match, they were like, well, considering all that was on the line, I'm surprised that they threw the towel, and the ref kind of said, hey, you're a little too wobbly here. You're against the ropes. This is too much CTE. Called it. And what was that, the 10th round?
It's 10th round, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well,
I think he was very strategically thought out by Mayweather, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think he easily could have got couple good shots on him the first couple rounds because McGregor was just leaving himself wide open, really, and I think Mayweather was just kind of toying with him a little bit and letting him wear himself out, and that's what happened.
This is coming from people who don't really even watch UFC or boxing much, so
I don't watch. I used to watch UFC a couple years ago, not religiously, but I don't watch anymore. I don't watch boxing whatsoever. But
I don't associate with that crowd, if you know what I'm saying. Let's just say as you said, the Democratic National Committee decided to throw this fight and to avoid more race wars and white supremacy riots, they decided to have Mayweather win that, which I don't know, 50-0.
That's a joke, but
obviously, yeah. We got to throw out those conspiracy theories out there. We get the opportunity.
You got to get people thinking, right? He won the fight. And that's it. And he just was the smarter fighter, and there's a reason why he was 49-0. So,
but at the end of the day, both of them are millions and millions of dollars richer. They don't care.
I'll take a couple punches by Mayweather to get a couple $100 million.
I'll take a couple of punches from the both of them to get a couple mil. But yeah, nonetheless, though, that was going into that was pretty much the only thing going on this weekend because there isn't much racing going on. I haven't seen anything to do with Indy or F1, so got to rule that out. But we did watch some NASCAR this weekend for Wide World of Motorsports.
Did watch some NASCAR, yes we did. They had a race over there at Road America. It was a really good race. I remember going into the weekend, they said it was going to rain on Sunday, and it didn't rain.
It rained in qualifying, and then they even saw it. I remember even them saying that they saw it on the forecast, and they assumed it was going to be like that, and the next thing you know, it ended up getting a little wet towards the end of the race when we were asleep. It was one of those races. It was nice to have a Sunday race but I don't know. It just didn't seem like there's enough hype going into it. But of course, at the end of the race, on the second to last lap of the Johnsonville 180 Sunday at Road America, Clements attempted to pass Matt Tifft for the lead, and then he wheeled his Chevrolet to the inside of Tift's Toyota Camry, sending both of them spinning, which was huge. I marked out. And Clements fired his car back up faster than Tiff and seized the lead headed into the final go-around. From there, the 32-year-old Xfinity Series veteran cruised to victory lane, finishing almost 6 seconds ahead of runner-up Michael Annett. And for a guy who didn't even expect to win, this guy celebrated hours after the race.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a good finish there. It was it's pretty unexpected. I mean, like if he got kind of lucky too, because Tiff got out kind of by the kitty litter there.
Yeah. And
if he would have got out more in the grass there, I think he would have seen Michael Annett win that race. If you want me to be honest, I think he would have. I think he could have got up there, but luckily for Clemens, he got up there and was luckily close to the asphalt of the track there and got a wheeling again and won that race. It was good for him. It was good to see somebody new win.
It could have ended that way. It could have very well ended that way. Tiff, yeah, you're right. Tiff finished third. The 21-year-old Joe Gibbs racing driver said he was battling a loose car in the braking zones and realized that Clements would pose a tough challenge since he had fresher tires. But Clements, who owns Clements Racing out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, with his father, Tony Clements, was running in a Chevrolet that was built in 2008. With the victory, he earned a berth in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. And we even had a discussion there. I said I loved seeing Dodge cars in the Xfinity Series, and you even mentioned that it's for the teams that can't afford some of the newer equipment, some of the new stuff. They go to those options, especially driving a car that's almost 10 years old.
Like you said, that 2008, I didn't even know about that. So I mean, that's exactly what I was saying before. Those teams that run Dodges, they can't. It's all they got, and NASCAR allows them to do it. And so I mean, it's not like they're getting an advantage or anything because they're outdated stuff, but.
But looking forward to this weekend, going into this weekend, though, the Xfinity Series does return to Darlington Raceway for the Throwback Labor Day weekend. But TSP and CKMS is attending one of those throwback races. And there are some news going into the Truck Series, going into this race. Former NASCAR Truck Series driver Shane Sieg, dead at 34. Former NASCAR Camping World Truck Series driver was pronounced dead over the weekend, and he is the older brother of current NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Ryan Sieg, and they announced Tuesday afternoon on social media. He would have turned 35 on Wednesday, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing some tribute going into the races this weekend for him. Unfortunate news. Who knows? Me and you, who knows what happened there? But by God.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. It's any life lost early like that. It's not good. It sucks.
But I expect a moment of silence this weekend at CTMP. But not only that, another moment of silence. Brad Keselowski Racing will end truck operations and leaving the door open for the Top Series. They announced Thursday that they will cease the operations after the 2017 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season, prepping for a potential move to NASCAR's top division at a much later date. The announcement came from namesake team owner Brad Keselowski, the 2012 champion of NASCAR's Premier Series, and Keselowski's organization currently fields Ford F-150s for Chase Briscoe and who's 22, and 18-year-old Austin Cindric, both in their first full season of truck competition. It's going to be interesting to see because they're going to be actually racing throwback schemes this weekend at CTMP, schemes that Keselowski's, I believe his father and his uncle ran. But the team said in its release that it remained committed to finishing strong in the 2017 Camping World Truck Series campaign, Briscoe sits fourth in the series standings with 2 pole positions in the 14 races thus far. Cindric ranks 10th, riding a string of 6 straight top 10 finishes in the series. So, he's got a couple good drivers on his hands going into CTMP this weekend, Slayer Misfit.
Oh yeah, he's got good drivers. That's no doubt about it. And wouldn't be surprised if one of those guys won the race. I mean, you won't see any Cup regulars or anything down there, and it's going to be a good race to watch. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to watch it, but it's.
Well, you'll be able to find out the updates from on TSP and CKMS on Facebook and Twitter. You'll be in the know.
Yes,
I'll have some in detail updates.
That's where I go for my information.
Even for some of the other stuff that's going on this weekend, Adam Andretti, who is a member of the famous Andretti family. His father is Aldo, Mario's brother, and John is his brother. And he will be stepping in the NASCAR Pinty Series race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which is a track that he is very familiar with in the Grand Am Series. And he is going to be able to basically see if he did really good at the Toronto race at the Honda Indy a couple weeks ago. He was there in Toronto for the Honda Indy, and he decided to take a step into a stock car. He actually did pretty good. He finished in the podium, 3rd place. So they said, hey, we want you to return for action on Labor Day weekend, CTMP, and a road course which he does know well, and he'll be running for the number 44 Dodge, prepared by Scott Steckley's number 22 Racing. He's a big champion in the Pinty Series up here. The race is the Total 200 from CTMP. Will take place this weekend, right before the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. So we're also going to be seeing a lot of double duty take place. Former CTMP race winner Jason Hathaway will race for Bolin Motorsports at Chevy Silverado. That's going to be really cool to see some of the Canadian guys. Gary Clute, part of the NASCAR Next class, former Pinty Series winner at this track. After making his first start in the event last season, Gary Clute is ready to try competing in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series again this year. And he made his first truck start last season in the same event, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports, finishing 11th. And Clute is no stranger to competing at CTMP in the Pinty Series, having scored his lone win there in 2015 and finishing 3rd earlier this season in the Pinty Series opener. Clute is currently in his 3rd season in NASCAR Pinty Series and has collected 6 top 10 finishes and 10 career starts at this track. So they will be using him to their advantage. A lot of road course ringers. Another road course ringer coming up, DJ Kennington. 3 drivers coming up to the Camping World Truck Series. He's going to be DJ Kennington, who is probably the best driver in Pinty Series, will be racing for Gaunt Brothers Racing, and that'll be exciting to see him be able to race with them this weekend. He is we don't know if one of these guys, one of these ringers, might end up showing up most the guys racing in the Camping World Truck Series for the Chevrolet Silverado 250, which Darlington, I don't know if you heard about this today, but Darlington supports all the tribute schemes being run by the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series teams in Canada. NASCAR saying it's the official throwback weekend of NASCAR, and I am Slayer.
Yes.
You should see the throwback schemes. That.
Oh yeah.
The John Hunter Nemecheks we run in.
The throwback to the Bell South.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
His dad used to run.
And I think I have that in 164. Yeah, I think I have that, and I think I could look into getting it signed.
I'm sure
Small,
I had
though.
it.
I don't know how to
when
get
I
that
was a kid,
signed.
but
Yeah.
who knows where it's at now. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good little scheme. And I like that little baby blue they got on that thing.
Oh yeah, and there's others. There's another scheme. I forget who the driver is off the top of my head, but he's driving like a 1950s looking scheme thing. So it's going to be really cool for TSP and CKMS Wide World of Motorsports squad to be down there this weekend. So we'll see you all down there. But
I gotta say something. It's it'd be neat to go to if there's a road course on the NASCAR circuit that I'd like to go to, it'd be CTMP.
Wow.
I mean, that's really It's a really neat track. It really is great to watch when I can watch it. It's
and it's coming up in the new game too.
I wish the Monster Energy series would run there. That'd be pretty neat. But yeah, if anybody listening out there, go to that track if you can.
We'll see you there. Maybe you'll get off work and fly down or fly up. I mean,
it'd be an astronomical thing to happen, but
maybe some of the high ups at CTMP will send down their private jets and choppers and see what happens.
We'll see what can happen.
We're going to take just a couple minutes before we end up finishing off the show. I almost just want to take a request from you.
Oh, man, let's do.
I think I already know where we're going with this.
Let's do the Beatles Paperback Writer.
Paperback Writer. Sounds good to me, man. We're gonna listen to some Beatles and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial, folks. You're listening to CKMS, Wide World of Motorsports, right here on 102.7, the sound of the community of the past 40 years. This is DJ JD. And
this is Joe Meinerch, Slayer Misfit.
And what we're going to be like, this is Beatles. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We were just listening to the Beatles' Paperback Writer. Thank you for that request, Slayer. It's a very good
you're
one.
welcome. Very good song. I enjoy
very
it.
good one.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Nice and quick, to the point. Very nice. But we're back here on CKMS Wide World of Motorsports, and we were just discussing over the break what in the world is NASCAR doing with this air jack thing? Is this a sex toy that they are going to be patenting and coming out with?
It's not. Unfortunately, no, I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately,
I'm not. It's not. I'm not a big fan of it. It's taking away the stock car stuff again. It's supposed to be. It used to be the rough and tumble. Series, like you know what I mean. It's just kind of taking away that, and
they're trying to say that it's obsolete things. For the man to be there. They could possibly use that for something else. For some like maybe if there's damage on the car, they could use that extra man instead of he just walks up. You take a hose and you just kind of guessing how it's like in F1 or even in like the Rolex series. Well, like they take a hose and they plug it into the T-post there, and I guess it just jacks it up or something like that, or.
Yeah, they use it's like an air jack system like it is. It's got it's pressured by air and put an air hose in there. It's just like that. It gets pressure to the jacks there and pushes that car up and
that's just going to be another thing that all the race teams are going to be using to compete with anyways going into this.
I'm sorry, what was that?
All the race teams like Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, they're all going to be looking into this. They're all going to be taking advantage of maybe one race team could have a quicker mechanism than the other, something like that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Speaking of that, kind of the economic stuff about that, it's you got all these shops that have all these cars already built, right? Mm-hmm. Just think about all that money that's going to take to put those air jack systems in those cars. Like, you know what I mean? Like with all the cars that they have, like the inventory that Hendrick has, that Gibbs has, that big teams like that, it's going to cost a lot more money than I think that they should even worry about. I think to me, it's just they just need to keep it the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's true. It's true. And I never know what they'll do with that. We might see something come of that next week. That's just a rumor. That's not anything really official just yet.
Oh no, it's just in the talks, and you know how that goes.
Yeah. You never know. It could go either way. But we like to talk about Dale Jr. sometimes, and Dale Jr. he weighed in on the tragedy in Charlottesville the last couple weeks. He's like, "What in the world's going on?" He's like, "Hatred, bigotry, and racism should have no place in this great country. Spread love," is what Dale Jr. is trying to use his fame for an advantage.
He's a good person to do it. I mean, you need some people, are just. I don't understand it. Like just out of pure violence, people just hurting others just because their skin's black or green or purple or yellow or whatever. It's just uncalled for, man.
Coming from the guy in the blue state, eh?
I consider myself a Republican. I don't consider myself anything, actually. No. I hate politicians.
Yeah.
I can look at it from both ways, but
it's interesting to see Dale Earnhardt Jr., who coming from that part of the neck of the woods, South Carolina, and that guy taking advantage of the area and saying, hey, this isn't what it's supposed to be like, which is very good to see, especially in NASCAR. You'd assume and expect all the white supremacists that were at that rally to be at the Darlington race this weekend, but that's not the case. That's not how it works.
Well, you're stereotyping a little bit.
Exactly. Well, that is the unfortunate stereotype. So it's nice to see Dale Jr. come out.
Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, it's synonymous with white supremacists and racing. Apparently, NASCAR racing in general.
He's having a rough season though, and going into Darlington. I mean, we got to start seeing, coming into the last couple of races of going in this chase, we got to start seeing him do something.
I'm sorry, love Dale Jr., but
absolutely,
unless there's just fuel strategy or something, I don't see him winning any of these two last races. They're not where they need to be. The only driver Kane had a good car at Indy, but that was kind of a shit show.
But I'll say a jerk-off comment, just like Adam Alexander. If there's anyone who can turn around, it's an Earnhardt.
Yeah. Well, I think Dale Jr.'s on vacation.
He's on vacation
anyway,
in his head, still from his injury that he's coming back from.
No, that's a very serious thing.
Yeah, CTE, no joke. CTE's no joke. But he will remember, out of all the races, the guy has said himself, he's learned to not to dwell on the bad days, and there's been a lot of bad days in 2017, other than him coming back in the 2017 Daytona 500, and he was sitting out most of last year, and then seeing all these other things happen, sitting on the sidelines, coming back this season, he has not done very well, his performances. So, going into Darlington, as you said, don't think it'll happen. I would hope so. What do you think going into Darlington is going to happen this throwback weekend?
I mean, America wants Dale Jr. to win.
Yeah,
right? Everybody,
absolutely.
Even Dale
It'll
Jr.
be the weekend too. Yeah,
I want him to win.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see the same stuff you always see. If you want me to be honest, I think you're going to see
Larson won last year, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Oh. When did Larson win at Darlington?
Who was it? No, it was Edwards that won last year, I believe.
Okay.
Was it Edwards?
Didn't Larson win at Darlington?
Larson won at Auto Club last year, and then he won at Michigan.
Dang.
He won it. Was it Michigan? It was Michigan.
But he's really good at Darlington.
No, his first win was at Michigan, and then he won at Auto Club, and then 2 Michigan races this year. Yeah, he's good at Darlington. He's good everywhere.
So we can't say we can't go off of last year's winner. We can't because he's who knows where. Who knows where he is? He's probably hiding in the woods somewhere.
He's probably at Subway or something.
Subway with his little tinfoil hat on or something. Yeah, who knows?
I think you're going to see Truex do good. I think you're going to see Kyle Busch do good.
No, I don't want to see. I'm done with Toyotas, man. I'm done with I'm done with Kyle Busch.
You got to. I'm being realistic here.
If there's anyone I'm going for, it's Truex because he's already on a roll. He's been a roll all season. He's going to win probably both stages. And it might come down to him and Kyle Busch. I agree with you.
Furniture Row Motorsports, by the way, very close to where I live. Shop is just in downtown Denver. I think it's in downtown Denver. I haven't been there yet. I'd like to. I'm still new here. But I think you're going to see. I think even Eric Jones is going to have a good run. If there's going to be a Hendrick car that's going to do really good, it's going to be Jimmy Johnson. So I think Chase Elliott will run okay. I think he'll get a top 10. I think you'll see a decent run by Denny Hamlin. I'm gonna call him out, and I expect him to run good. Then I think you're just gonna see Ryan Blaney run good as usual.
I think Blaney will run up there for sure in the top 10. He will finish somewhere in the top 10 in one of those 2 stages.
Exactly. And then
who's on the cusp though? Who is on the cusp of the chase?
Chase Logano is on the outside looking in, I believe.
Okay.
I was just gonna get
The
with
cusp.
him.
You should change it to the cusp.
He had a win at Richmond,
Cusp
but
my
it was not counted towards Chase because they had some rule infractions there. That's the right word to use.
So it's been encumbered.
Encumbered
Because
he's
a fail.
Would be the most popular used term apparently.
He failed.
But then they're also going to Richmond next week.
Right,
so,
and that's when
so
we've seen in the past. I mean, we've seen shit hit the fan there.
Some pretty gnarly stuff. If they want to see gnarly stuff happen before the Chase, they need to put Talladega as the last race.
Yeah, I agree with that. And once the Chase hits, I mean, Once
the Chase hits, all bets are off.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good one this year. Unfortunately, it's going to be Dale Jr.'s last couple races, but I think NASCAR is going to see the struggle. If you want me to be honest, they're lost a lot of good drivers the last couple of years, and they'll still carry on.
Going into the future, I mean, the season's closer to being over than being at the beginning. So, I mean, going into the season, we're going to see a lot of fresh faces next year, and especially not only that, I mean, with this new generation of fans, like we're in our early to mid 20s, we're looking into the new generation, the new young drivers. So I mean, Johnson is going to be the gray-haired granddaddy at Hendrick next year.
Yeah, he's going to be the gray-haired granddaddy with babies in diapers, basically, as his teammates. Going to have Alex Bowman, William Byron, and obviously Chase Elliott, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent there, but it's going to be a learning curve, I think, for Alex Bowman a little bit. He did good last year when he subbed in, but it's going to be interesting.
Well, who knows what we'll see? We'll have all the updates on TSP and CKMS on Facebook and Twitter going into this weekend, and not only that, I don't know when you'll be able to call back in the show, but I'm pretty sure when your availability is there, we'll be able to talk the Wide World of Motorsports with all this stuff going into this weekend. And next week or the week after, we'll have to talk about the aftermath.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be exciting. I'm very excited. What we are looking at towards the end of the show. Actually, I'll keep you on. We'll do an extra together. This is how I end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for tuning in to CKMS Wide World of Motorsports. Make sure you check us out this weekend down at CTMP, where we'll see you there live. And not only that, make sure you tune in Mondays 1 to 4. Tuesdays 8 to 10 will be on tomorrow night. We're going to talk some more of the Defying Ones between Eminem. Not Eminem. We will play Eminem. Dr. Dre, who produced him. We're going to have Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, the Defying Ones, play some more music for them. And look at music history tomorrow night, 8 to 10 p.m. right here on 102.7. And not only that, next Monday, 1 to 4, Tuesday, 10. Next week, we'll have a more in-depth, detailed of what goes down at CTMP this weekend. And we will see you down at Koi Fest, September 15th and 16th at Maxwell's Concerts and Events, where we'll see some of the best post-hardcore Canadian bands out there. So excited. Lots of stuff going on here at Radio Waterloo. I'd like to remind everyone, of course, take care of yourselves and each other. Spay and neuter pets, help control the pet population. Always remember to wear a helmet. Protect yourself. Always. CT is a serious thing. Make sure you look up your workers and your human rights. And always, for the working man and the working woman, there is no off position to the genius switch. You got any final words before we head off there, Slayer?
Everybody have a good and safe week. Enjoy some racing and enjoy some music here.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to play When I Come Around, Green Day, going into Afternoon Drive. Who is next? Don't touch that dial, folks. There's so much more to come. Have a great one.